Good morning, Magic fans. We have a mail day video for you today. Just a small mail day. It's about the size of a Lord of the Rings collector box, but it's a little bit lighter, so I guarantee you it's not a Lord of the Rings collector box. I'll give you a few guesses. You can get a hint by the playmat that we've got. So it's not gonna be a one of one, the One Ring card, serialized. We'll probably stay away from those collector packs that they sell for like $35, $40. I think they printed about 200 to 250,000 boxes of Lord of the Rings, and they're only putting the One Ring card in one of those packs. So your odds of pulling a one of one, the One Ring, is 1 in like 250,000, which is pretty minimal, if non-existent. So we'll pretend that that card doesn't exist. We'll talk about the cards in this package. We're opening it on Sunday, a week early, which means I think the video is gonna actually go live on Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope you get to do something with your family today. Enjoy the day. Maybe play some Magic if you play Magic. Yeah, just a beautiful day here, so let's see what we get in this package. I believe this order helps us out with like 3 or 4 of our smaller collections that we're working on. Packing peanuts. And yeah, okay. So games, we don't need the peanuts anymore. So yeah, it's June. We're still playing Alpha 40. We picked up some Alpha cards this month in this order. We'll go through those as well. There's the sticker. People like to see the sticker. Let's put the sticker up here by Sarah. Okay. Let's see, got a few cards. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Very nice. All right, we'll go through those last. We'll put those up here. Actual pictured cards of the Alpha set. The first card we see is a Days card. This card is an instant by Matthew D. Wilson, and we were going for these in our pre-modern deck that we were building. We didn't have any copies from this. I think it's Prophecy. So we picked a few up. You may return an island you control to its owner's hand instead of paying Days' mana cost. And then you counter that target spell unless its controller pays 1 colorless. So we did pick up 2 copies of Days. I'll put those right there. We also picked up a Retro Frame Time Spiral Remastered Ponder by Dan Scott. This is for our kind of retro frame deck. And then the last card we picked up that's not Alpha is this Goro Goro, Disciple of Ryushi. And this is for our Kamigawa Showcase variant set that we were collecting. If you recall, we had this binder with all the Kamigawa Showcase cards in it after the Space Godzilla Death Corona cards. We had some Kamigawa basic lands, and then this showcase retro, like this showcase frame kind of parallel set. We were missing 5 cards as of today. This Goro Goro was one of those 5 cards. It's card number 320. So we can skip over to right here, and it goes right here in the binder. Also recently, so this means we need 4 more cards for the Kamigawa Showcase variant set. And The Kaido Shizuki is one that we're missing. The Jin Jitaxia is also missing. The most expensive card in this set is the Wandering Emperor. We don't have that one. That's about $60. That goes right there. So when we get those, we'll update the collection and make a video about it. The last card is the Fable of Mirror Breaker / Kiki Jiki. That card recently got banned in Modern Standard, so I'm expecting the value of that card to go to zero. Not actually zero, but it'll go down below $20, I'm thinking. And that's when we'll pick it up for the set. It's a very good card, but now it's not playable in those formats. So it's if its utility goes way down, I believe the card value will follow, and we should be able to pick one of those up on the open market pretty soon. This Ponder card we'll put in a blue sleeve, and we'll add Ponder. We have a box here with some retro frame cards in it. So we're saving these. We're gonna make some sort of retro frame deck out of these cards using the retro frame Islands from Dominaria Remastered. And we had a regular Ponder from Lorwyn, but we're gonna put this one in there as well. This is the Ponder from Time Spiral. That looks fantastic. We'll do another screenshot there. And you know, play cards like Sapphire Medallion, Retro Frame, Soul Ring. You get the idea. I'll put that in this deck box. Okay. These Days cards, these are going to go into our Matthew Wilson deck. If you recall, we made a video about this pre-modern deck that only uses pre-modern cards, and we're going to concentrate on the art of Matthew Wilson, who did Pacifism, Telepathy, Washout. He didn't do any lands or some of these artifacts, so we just threw in some lands and artifacts that are useful in the format, like Lotus Petal, Smoldering Crater, Drifting Meadow, Remote Isle, which we love the art on that. So we had 7th edition foil Sarah, and these 2 copies of Days that we were going to try to play in the deck are the World Championship backs. And we're going to take those out, and we're going to put in actual Prophecy Days. So now all the cards in this deck have black borders, and they kind of match, and it'll be very pre-modern. So there's the complete pre-modern deck, 60 cards. We could make a sideboard as well, and play this at our local meetups. We'll put the gold bordered Daisies in the extra cards here. I think we had Yavimava Enchantress, Slippery Karst. That's just lands that are not. I think the cycling lands, we collected all those. All right, and so 2 copies of gold bordered Days. Now we've got a play set of gold bordered Days to do something with. There's the Corona False God. This would be our commander, 5-color commander if we ever played a pre-modern commander deck. And then last but not least, we have 6 alpha cards that we're gonna play in Alpha 40. So if you recall our videos from last month, we put lightning bolts in our Alpha 40 deck and ran kind of a blue, red, white, black, green, 5-color black vice deck. And we would probably play more red cards if we had more red cards in our binder. We also reached our goal of 300 ungraded alpha cards for Alpha 40, Alpha 60, and ran out of room in the binder. So I think what we're gonna do now is take a look at these cards, put them in the binder, maybe take out some other duplicates, like we have probably 10 copies of COP Red and Disenchant. We'll probably make playsets of, we can probably make playsets of these now. This card is Disintegrate. It is an alpha card, and it is in near mint condition, so it is fabulous. Well, I would call it maybe played condition. There's some slight surface imperfections on the back, but that's a very nice Disintegrate. We have a Shatter, which is also in the same kind of played condition, lightly played, slightly played, actually heavily played. This one's got some creases to it. You can see that's HP dents in the card, so let's be over here. Luckily we have another copy of Shatter, and this one's much nicer. No dents on this one. So this is a near mint Shatter by Amy Weber. This destroys target artifacts. We also have another Disintegrate. This one's in slightly rough shape. Played. It's got some edge wear and a little more play wear on the back than that copy. So there's 2 copies of Disintegrate in alpha, 2 copies of Shatter in alpha. We also picked up 2 basic mountains because we were kind of short on mountains. We did have the dual lands, the Plateau, Taiga, and missing Badlands. And they didn't make Volcanic Island. So this one's nicer. This is a nice copy of Mountain in slightly played condition. And then we have a played Mountain here that will still tap for red mana. It's got some slight dirt on the back. We could try to clean that off with a damp cloth and not ruin the surface, but those are 2 mountains that we'll use for deck making. And now, so this this is June that we're kind of brewing and playing. I've made my deck for June. We're playing that this month. We'll do a recap video at the end of the month to show you what we played for June. In May, we ran a few red cards. In June, we put in a few more red cards in June, and I think these now will let us play a few more red cards in July. We'll probably want to take out some of the white cards that are in our current June build. In that deck, we were running Disenchant, and in May we were running Swords of Plowshares. So if you read the text of Disintegrate, it does X damage to 1 target, and if that target dies this turn, it's removed from the game entirely and cannot be regenerated. You return target to its owner's deck when the game is over. So Disintegrate isn't actually, it's a little more expensive because it costs a red and an X, but it essentially works kind of like a Swords to Plowshares because it will get the creatures out of the game. It could also be a finisher and do massive X damage to your opponent at the end to finish them off. And then Shatter costs the same as Disenchant. This is a 1 colorless 1 red instead of a 1 colorless 1 white. And this Shatter destroys target artifact. It's a little bit less useful than Disenchant because it doesn't target enchantments. But if we take out, if we don't include balance when we keep the Chaos Orb in, we can use Chaos Orb to flip onto our enchantment targets. Like that. Okay. So now we have 3 Shatters in our collection. We have 3 Disintegrates in our collection. I think we have got like 6 mountains. So we'll probably put in some mountains instead of some of the dual lands. If we take white out, we could take out Tundra, Plateau, Savanna, Scrubland, and maybe put in some mountains and just kind of run a more blue-red deck. But we'll finish out the month of June. We'll let you know how our kind of blue-red deck goes. And then based on those results, we'll mix in these cards that you see for July, and then maybe you run a deck with a little more direct damage in it and see how that goes for the summer. That would also be a pretty fast aggressive deck. So we'll let you know how June goes first, and then stay tuned. We'll see what we brew for July, and you may see some of these cards in that deck. So thanks again for watching the video today, listening to the birds. Happy Father's Day again to all the fathers out there, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everyone.